I'm coming. So we're outside. It is a beautiful day to transplant. It is cloudy and it's nice temperature here in North Carolina. Welcome to Algin Gardens. I want to show you how I handle blueberries. So I already have 4 blueberries established. I have 2 different varieties, Blue Patriots, and then I also have Pink Lemonades. For more berries, you want to make sure you have more than one kind of blueberry. And I bought 2 more of the Pink Lemonades thrift store brothers, caught a sale. But I absolutely love these blueberries. And I'll try to include a picture of the blueberries that I have or that I picked last year so you can kind of see that I'm not bugging. They really are pink. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to transplant it into this particular pot that I have. And I have a couple of them that look like makeshift whiskey barrels or wine barrels or what have you. But the key thing here is that blueberries enjoy acidic soil. So you want to have your pH of your soil at about 4.5, but there's a range, 3.5 to 5.5. And that's not always easy to do in pertaining to our vegetables, because typically most of our vegetables like it a little bit of a higher pH, around 6.5. So to get it acidic, I'm going to do something that I don't do for my regular vegetables, and that is I'm going to add, this is soil acidifier. It's usually used for hydrangeas, but it works on your blueberries, anything that's acidic or that you want to turn the color of it blue, hence the picture of hydrangeas. Also, anything that you can get your hands on that's good for azaleas, things of that nature. But also a natural way to do it without adding this, if you didn't want to, is just to get some pine bark, which you can find, at your local stores and things of that nature. Just making sure. I have a whole pile of wood chips, so I'm going to add this right in smack dab in the middle. And what you would do is mix it in. You wouldn't do that for your normal fruiting vegetables or green vegetables, leafy vegetables, things like that, because that will change the pH of your soil when you mix in the wood chips or the pine bark. Laying it on top is fine for mulching purposes, but you wouldn't mix it in. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to add about, eyeballing it, about half a cup of this fertilizer in here, and that should do the trick. And once I do this, I do not touch this again for another year. I'll test it come next spring, or the beginning right before spring, just to see if I need to add some in here. And that really is all that I do. I'll show you, I do have a tester that I'm using, and I'm waiting for the results for now for my already established blueberries. And if you can notice, I'm just making the hole about the same height and width as the cup or the pot that I'm transferring from, so that I can make sure that I don't plant below the soil level that it grew in. So now I'm taking it out. It's not terribly root bound, but I like to just scratch up the bottom of it just to make sure the roots aren't spinning in the cup. Plop that right in. It's a perfect fit, perfect height. We are good to go. I'll top this with the rest of this as a mulch layer. And that really is all there is to doing this. Now, I'm gonna say you don't need to put blueberries in a pot. This helps me move them where I want them to be. So if you don't have the space in your yard to put them in ground, putting them in a pot, perfectly fine. The only other thing I'm going to show you is my tester that I use, and that's going to determine whether or not I add some of that acidifier to the blueberries that are already established. Hold on a sec. Bonus treat, I got some strawberries that have established themselves over here, so I'm going to actually move them and replant them later. But I just wanted to show you that they're like wedged behind my planters, so I'm gonna get to those. But here's my tester. It's been sitting in here for about 10. So if you notice the alkaline, this is neutral. It's at about 7.5, which would be perfect for my vegetables, but not so much for the blueberries. They like it more acidic. Remember, we really want that meter over there at about, see if I can get it right. There you go. At about the 5.5, right between the 4 and the 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back this mulch, give a couple handfuls of the acidifier, and then we'll be good to go for the season. Hey, so we did that. We finished up with the blueberries. One thing I wanted to add is that I did not water the blueberries in. Hopefully you saw that it's an overcast day for me. It's actually going to rain, according to my iPhone, in about 20 minutes. If it does not rain by tomorrow morning, I will. But the water is already saturated because it rained heavy yesterday. So all of that was wet. There was nothing dry about that. And I made sure I had the blueberry actually sitting in water before I even began. So it was sitting there until it was time to plant. So the roots are completely saturated with water. And I don't want to add more to that right now. So I didn't water them in. I didn't water in the fertilizer. All of that will happen naturally with rain. So my biggest tip is to work with your weather. Always transplant when it's overcast, early morning, or in the evening if it's a sunny day. Wait till later in the day, I would say wait till later in the day so that your plants can get acclimated to being transplanted, or an overcast day like I did today. And while I'm out here, I figured I would show you what I have going on in the greenhouse as a bonus to the blueberry planting day that we did. So I hope you enjoy. Here you go. Hold on. So in the greenhouse, we have some lettuce that has been growing over the winter, some turnips. This is spinach. And actually I need to come in and give a little bit of fertilizer, extra fertilizer and some water to these. So I'm going to do that now. But I want to show you, these are the purple tops. Oh, leaf is in the way. Purple tops. So we got turnips going. I got carrots going. These are looking a-okay. Some of these shifted because this whole thing fell on me when we had a bad storm. So I tried to put them back as best I could. So if there are some that do not make it properly, because carrots really don't like to be shifted, then I completely will understand, because this whole thing fell on me. So I know what it is. Hey, also something not to be alarmed on. That's a mushroom. And that's good and normal because this is healthy soil. Healthy soil, mushrooms are an indication that there's a lot of life in this box, which is good. Don't worry about that. Do not worry about that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? So if you see that as you're gardening, take it as a blessing. That means God is doing something wonderful in there. Here we got some beets that are coming up. This is some, I forget what I planted here. Let me think about that. More beets, different kind of beets. So I have reds, and then I have some orange. This is celery that I'm growing back, that I got from the store. and I'm just growing it back here. It's doing well. So again, this is inside the greenhouse. So even through the frigid temperatures and all that good stuff, this is lasting. You may see some of my lemon and lime trees. They look poor right now, but they have a tendency to bounce back for me, so I'm not even worried about them. That's succulents. We're not even worried about that. I replant those every year. It's just something for the porch. Looks nice, so I keep it out. Don't worry about it. But again, carrots, lettuce, turnips, spinach, beets, celery. You can do a lot with a small space. So before, I just want to tell you that we got a lot that we're gonna get going here. Get into the garden. I'm gonna swing the view so you can see. We got a lot that we're gonna do. The strawberries over here probably be the next project we take on, I'm thinking. So stay tuned. Hope to see you soon. Yeah, we're gonna get at it. Be blessed.